In 2007, you tied the record for two kickoff return touchdowns in a single game. And so we have, athletes and coaches that listen to this. And what goes through a returner's mind in that, split second when you see the hole open up? Is it just pure instinct, or is there preparation that goes into that? Is it kind of a mix of things? What's that like?
It's definitely a mix of things. You're running in hopes that everything, like you're going to get a big return or you're going to get a touchdown. But again,
Yeah,
those are split second decisions that are happening where I see the hole, I'm running towards it, and then all of a sudden a guy, lets go a little too soon, or a guy beats his block, and what I thought the hole was going to be open, all of a sudden it closes like
yeah,
that. And sometimes, people can look at the game and look at the play and be like, "Hey, why didn't you just run outside?" And it's like,
yeah,
well, it wasn't there. Like,
yeah,
what your vision sees from your peripheral, the different color of the other jersey that you see, whether it's playing tricks on you or you really saw it, like you're going off of your split reaction in that
yeah,
moment. And so you have the play that's called, you have to trust your blockers that are there. And on those plays, everyone did exactly what they were supposed to do. And so, I can't take credit all for myself on those things, because you've got 10 other guys that are out on the
that's
field
right.
having to
Yeah,
block guys and having to, follow up. It's not just that initial contact that you have to hold your guy. You got to hold them for a couple of seconds until I get through the hole to be able
yeah,
to keep going. So there's so many things that happen. And, all it takes is one guy to either miss his block or not hold on too long, and that guy
yeah,
tackle the returner. And that's the difference between touchdowns and big plays. And so, on the first touchdown that I ran back, I remember it was a counter play to the left. And, those are always plays that I like because it gives me opportunity to get to the field. And I know if
yeah,
I can get my stride and I can get my speed going, that there were very few people that would ever be able to catch me.
yeah,
Again, I just remember going to the left side, my fullback, one of my lead blockers, getting a good block. I cut back up inside of him, and all I saw was grass towards the opponent's sideline. And so
yeah,
at that point, I was just like, "All right, track speed, let's go."
yeah,
And so you go and you realize again, for the football fans out there, if you're not close to the returner and you see a guy get into the open field, you have to say, can I get the angle and try to
hmm,
meet him before he gets
yeah,
to the end zone? And so that's where a lot of guys don't have that top end speed to be able to outrun everybody on the field. You might be able to
that's
outrun
right.
those guys that are close to you, but you've got to find that guy who is not worried about where you are. He's worried about where you're going. And so
Yeah,
again, having that top end speed to be able to kind of outrun everybody on the play. And it's always fun to be able to look back on the play and you see everybody running their hardest and you're just kind
yeah,
of striding, running past them, or guys trying to dive at your feet and you know that they're not going to catch you. But
yeah,
so, the first play was amazing. And, it's already pretty special to have one kickoff return in a game,
mm,
and that ended the first half. And then, man, we're hyped going into halftime, excited about what just happened, and had no idea that we were getting the kickoff again to start the second half. And so this is maybe 12 minutes later
yeah,
that this happens. Again, I remember this was in December, so the sun was coming in. We had the roof open in NRG Stadium. So in our stadium in Houston, they have a retractable roof. And
yeah,
so I remember the sun being in my eyes and me catching the ball deep in the end zone. And so a lot of times my coach may have told me to take a knee, but I was just like,
yeah.
I'm feeling kind of
No,
good.
I'm,
I'm
I'm
feeling kind
feeling
of
it.
good
Yeah,
right now. So if anyone watches this play, you can see me catch the ball and I kind of look down at my feet to see that I'm deep in the end zone. And I'm just like, I don't care. Let's go.
yeah,
I'm taking this out. And it was a middle return. And again, all the players, all my guys did great on the block and allowed me to find kind of the lane that was there. And I remember getting close to half field once I got around the kicker, and I could feel the lactic acid in my muscles starting to build up. So anyone who's a track person or anyone who knows when you start,
yeah,
when you do strenuous activity and you start getting to the end where your legs start locking up or your arms start locking up, that's what I started to feel but I also
Hmm.
saw open field and was hoping like,
Yeah.
please don't let anybody catch me. And so when I got to the end zone again, it was one of those things where the moment I got into the end zone, I was overwhelmed at that point where I was just like, Lord, like what in the world just happened? And I
Yeah.
felt like in that moment, that was a supernatural moment where like, man, this is not me, in the midst of this moment right now. Like the fact that
Yeah.
you allowed me to do this in a game, I'm pretty much back to back plays was something that like, Lord, just thank you. Thank you for this opportunity and to be a vessel at
Yeah.
this point to, have that all work out.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome.